patents aren't always worth it. In some cases, they can be a complete waste of time and money. Let me explain. I just got off a Zoom call with an inventor from Australia, and he'd watched one of my videos, and he said, "John, I'd like to get a patent application filed in the United States for an AI invention I've been thinking of." Well, I love hearing about invention, so I asked him to explain to me what his new idea was about. Well, it turns out he's been having some healthcare challenges lately, spending some time with the healthcare system in Australia. And he has an idea for an AI program related to healthcare. Now, unfortunately, he has no background in software programming or in artificial intelligence or machine learning. What he would like to do is to sell or license his invention to some other company that can build it in exchange for some license fee or some regular income to help supplement his monthly fixed income as a retiree. Now, I'm keeping some of the facts and details of this invention on the download to protect the caller's confidentiality. But if you were the patent attorney on this call, what would you have advised this inventor to do? Put your advice and thoughts in the comments section below. We'd love to read about it. When I was a young engineering student, I remembered the fantasy described by one of my university professors who said that one of the great things about being an engineer is that you can come up with new inventions and you can file patent applications on your inventions, send them off to the patent office and get a patent back, and then license or sell your patents to other companies and really just sit back and collect mailbox money for the rest of your life. And as a starving engineering student, barely getting enough sleep at night, that just seemed like such a fantastic way to have a career. Maybe as a theoretical academic for this professor, that's the way the system was supposed to work. But my guess is, in real life, he hadn't tried to sell or license too many of his inventions. The reality is that the skills required to find a licensee and to sell your inventions are a completely different set of skills than those required to be an inventor. Even though you may have an invention, and even though you may have patented your invention, finding and securing a license or a sale of your patent and your invention is a completely different kettle of worms. When I was starting my practice many years ago, I was in Southern California visiting a company, a new client of mine, and I had received a call from an individual inventor who had invented a child care product, and she wanted to get together and talk about it. It turned out that the invention she had and wanted to get a patent on was an infant blanket with a pocket sewn into the blanket, just the right size for inserting a cassette recorder. In her case, it was a Sony Walkman. And the idea was that you could put the baby blanket into the crib with the infant, insert the cassette recorder, and play lullabies or soft music while the baby slept. The pocket in the blanket had a Velcro snap connected to it so that you could easily open and close the flap on the pocket to prevent the cassette recorder from slipping out. It turns out she'd made some of these blankets and distributed them to friends at church and given them as baby shower gifts to some of her friends. The friends and family loved the blanket and encouraged her to try and get a patent on the blanket and see if she could sell the blanket to a blanket manufacturer or to a baby products manufacturer. As it turns out, this was a full-time stay-at-home mom with 3 or 4 kids living on Social Security. She was hoping that the income that she would receive from selling this blanket or having someone license this blanket from her would help support her kids and supplement her income. And not unlike our inventor from Australia, the blanket inventor didn't really have any experience in business, had no experience in manufacturing, and really had never held a full-time job. Her lottery ticket plan was to use part of her Social Security check each month that she needed to feed her kids in the hopes of getting a patent and selling that patent to a blanket manufacturing company. In my mind, it's just never a good idea to use money that you need to live on to pay for a patent. There's business risk in getting the patent, and there's business risk in finding a buyer for the patent. You shouldn't spend essential money in the hopes that there'll be a future payoff with the sale or license of a patent. Unfortunately, this is the kind of story I hear a lot from underfunded, inexperienced inventors. It is possible to sell your inventions and to get royalty-bearing license agreements for your inventions. But this is a business. These are business transactions. They're not lottery tickets. And if you are an inventor and this is your first invention that you're trying to license, you need to go into the process with open eyes and expectations that this will be more difficult than you think and will probably take longer than you would like. So why is it so difficult to find companies to buy and license your inventions? Well, if you're a brand new inventor, you probably don't have the industry connections yet. You don't know the people that you need to meet and get together with who are looking for your product. As a serial inventor or a professional inventor, you'll get to know these people, you'll build relationships with these people, and you'll have a track record of successful product inventions. It's much easier to sell an invention the second time than it is to be a brand new inventor in a brand new industry. Also, as an underfunded new inventor, if you don't have a working prototype or you don't understand how to properly present your invention, it makes it very difficult for buyers, for companies to understand exactly what it is you have. Without a working prototype, it's hard to fully communicate the benefits of your invention to a manufacturer. There's risk in that transfer of information, that transfer of benefit. And as I've often said on my videos, businesses abhor risk. You can think of this as a lost in translation problem between the image that you have in your mind as the inventor and the finished product, the manufactured finished product that the company or the manufacturer is going to be selling to the public. The more clearly that you can communicate your ideas and your vision to the company who you're interested in selling to, the easier it's going to be for the company to make that transaction with you. Now, if you are a new inventor and you'd like to be a professional inventor, I don't want to discourage you. We all have to start in our profession somewhere. But I think it's important to go into this with eyes open, that it's going to take some extra work. It's going to take some extra motivation in order for you to find a buyer for that first invention. Now, I have other videos on where and how to find buyers and manufacturers for your inventions. I think trade shows are a fantastic place where inventors and manufacturers can meet and discuss not only the inventions that they currently have to sell, but also ideas for future inventions. And even if you're an experienced serial inventor, it often takes time and lots of doors knocked on in order to get your inventions in the hands of a manufacturer willing to pay you. And individual inventors aside, I think patents are still extremely valuable for entrepreneurs who want to build products and sell their own products. For startup companies who want to raise money from professional investors, having patents can greatly increase your valuation to investors. And I think patents are essential for companies selling products who want to create monopolies in their market to reduce the cost of competition and to protect their customer base. Okay, that's really all I have to say about this topic today. If your company needs help with its patents or its patent strategy, I'd love to hear from you. You can reach out to me at the email address below. Also, if you have thoughts or experiences about inventions that you've licensed or sold, we'd love to read about them in the comments section below. Thanks for watching this video. I'll see you on the next one.